Okay, we're recording. I've been working today on making the first lesson plan for the isometric layout of the 16-acre cogen communities. And this is the first time that I've been presenting this information in a little more detail. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see the other one up in the top corner here, that this here is this here, the center 1 acre, centermost acre. We're going to call it the spiritual center or the heart of the community. And so the reason why I call it the heart of the community is that because these are spiritual communities, and as that you can actually have meetings throughout the week where all the uh, people from around outside this 1 acre plot could come in to hold services or for teaching or whatever. And so the center part here would be more of a spiritual center. You'd still have a place to eat. You might have a second story, maybe a third story, and something like this. But on this one here, I've actually made it an H31. Okay, that's 31 48-foot square foot relocations platforms all put together, and so it makes up this area here. So this is a visual of what it's going to look like, what the land area that it's going to take up. And so this has a diameter of, well, what is it now? H31, I think these are 24 feet across, 24 feet to center, 48 foot all the way across. And from the hypotenuse out is 20 3/4 of a foot. That's important to know in order to establish the plot. And so if you have your tripod set up in the center, the first thing that you would do is establish true north. So you know that the distance from here to here is 120.5 feet, and then you commence to shoot, this side, this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. So that gives you your outer perimeter. Okay, second step would be to take your tripod and to shoot at a hypotenuse angle, because these all the buildings are set on the hypotenuse angle. So from here, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Just back up a little bit. Okay, establish your true north, establish your outer perimeter. So the next thing you do is take your area of 43,560, or 1 acre, and divide that by 9. And that will give you this inner hexagonal. And as you look at it, you get your center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you got 1, 2, 3, which is 7. Max, go lay down for a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3 is 8. 1, 2, 3 is 9. So if you take 1 acre, 43,560, and divide it into by 9, you would get 1/9 of an acre, and that works out to be 4,840 feet, or 4840. And so if you take the hypotenuse of that, so you take 4840 times 0.866025, you get, I don't want the square feet. Okay, So you take your, and forget about the area measurement. You know that from here to here, the hypotenuse, you want to take the hypotenuse of 120.5 feet, 120.5, and times that by 0.866025. So you get 104.35, so 104 in about 3 inches, roughly. So from here to here is 104 feet, and you divide that by 1, 2, 3. Divide that by 3, and you get 34.7 feet, 34.8 between here and here, 34.8. So we know that this here is established on the grid line. So we got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So if we take 34.78 times 2, we get 69.57, 69.5 feet from here to here. I got 69.3, 69.5 to be a little more accurate. So you take your tripod and you shoot off angle. North would be your angle. So you shoot off angle 69.5 feet all the way around. So that gives you your center point of your outer buildings. And so your survey work here would be complete. Then you would go here and you just repeat the process. So we could establish the outer perimeter of your buildings. And it's that simple. This is the simplest, most efficient survey in the world, because it's conventional survey is based on the square, which is the natural grid lines aren't built on the square like that. And so first thing you do is you shoot your true north. You shoot your outer perimeter ring for your 1 acre, 120.5 feet out. Then you shoot your off angle of 69.5 feet all the way around, and then you can commence to shoot your 6 corners of your inner building, then sit up here and shoot your 6 corners of your outer buildings. It's that simple. Today I've actually, you can see where I got the pencil marks there. I wasn't sure where to put the outer dwellings. Now this would be geometrically perfect, or geometrically centered, because everything's in the center, right? And remember, these are 1,200 square foot. This is the larger model. You might be using the H13 as opposed to the H19 on a smaller scale. And so if you want one scale down, your center would be 1,200, and these would be 768, or something like that. It depends on how much land that you want. And a lot of the rules of thumb is that on a 1 acre plot, you don't want to exceed 1/3 of an acre. So on a 1 acre plot, you got 40, 43, 5, 60, divided by 3 gives you 14,520 square feet. So you don't want to exceed that. There'll be other buildings going in here, like shops, greenhouses. Like the shops would share with the rest of the area, which would probably, I think you got 3 greenhouses here, or 2 greenhouses and 3 shops. But you want to try to keep it under, not to exceed 1/3 of the land area. And another rule of thumb that I've come to establish is that you want to have at least 1/3 or 1/6 of the land natural. That means you just leave it natural. That's you have to allow for your wildlife and stuff like that. You don't want to interfere with their habitat, and that will leave a remaining 1/3 for gardens and maybe say a third for gardens and another 1/6 for roads and paths and things like that. So you could actually plot this out. And if you wanted to bring this from being geometrically centered, you could actually bring your houses closer. From the outside here to the outside here, you have about just under 32 feet. So if you wanted to put a boardwalk, that's a long way to stretch. So you could go from the center point here, you could take it to the center point here, which would move you, that would bring your edge about, you're jumping from there to there. There, let me see here. You're coming closer, yeah, but the edge of your building, of your outer building would be roughly here. So if you wanted to put a boardwalk here, and a boardwalk here, and a boardwalk here, you could do that. In the center, you could have 3-story, 2-story with an atrium. On your other dwellings, you could have 2-story with no atrium, just a 2-story, and you could actually put walkways that are staggered to your boardwalks here. So you got your skywalks here, here, and here, and go to the second story of your, attaches the second floor to the second floor or middle floor of this building, your center building, community hub. And you could have walkways on the bottom. And so there's different things that you can do with this. And I'll be doing more of a detailed sketch on this. It's been years since I've done any kind of this work here. I can take this here and I can put it into GIMP and actually draw up the actual units. And one thing about geometry, if you take a look at this, you have 9 hexagonals altogether, or 7 hexagonals, 6 diamonds. And if you take one hexagonal, that's subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. Each triangle is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So in 1/9 of an acre, or in one geometric plot here, you would actually have 24. You would have 4 times 6, 24 triangles here, and that's what you're working from. You still need some kind of pattern, so that's your overall pattern. And so I would give you, if you got 24 sub-triangles, you times that by 9, you get 216 and of these little triangles. If you work that into an acre, you got 43,560 divided by 216. That gives you just under 200 square feet. So each one of these are 200 square feet. And like I was saying before, the beauty of using isometric geometry is, and this is what the Lord gave me, He's taught me this over the years. If you know just this one angle here, say from here to here, you can figure out the rest. Any other angle, no angles, you can figure out. A normal survey, you can't do that. And I don't know if there's any more to include on this. I just wanted to bring this lesson on how to, like the 3 initial steps to take to lay out the plot. So in an overview, you'll set up your geometric center. You shoot 120.5 inches all the way around at 60 degrees, and with a point going north to orientate. Don't bother me right now.
Hey, how's the voice doing?
I'm doing a video here.
What's that?
Don't bother me now. Oh, I'm busy.
Oh, you're on the phone.
No, I'm busy. And so you shoot your true north, and you shoot your outer perimeter, and then you can shoot uh, your dwellings all the way around the off grid or off center. Establish your 6 points to give you your geometric center, and then you can do the 6 points here of your H31 and do your 6 points on your H19. Okay, that's it. This is the Exodus 2 report. Joshua Taylor coming to you from here in Edmonton, Alberta.